Module 2.6, the System Builder, Sires. Welcome to Module 2.6 of your Proform Professional Training course. There are many ways you might want to research by sire. In this training session we will look at 3 ways of doing so. Sire research in national and flat races using race declarations, sire research of course and going preferences, and sire research of race distances. Sire research in national and flat races using race declarations. This session will show you how to use a system builder to analyse sires on a race-by-race basis. For this example, we'll analyse a national and flat race and look at how sires perform overall and on debut in these types of races. We have Proform open on the calendar on the 25th of October 2012. We have Carlisle selected, and we've also highlighted a national and flat race, which is the 5:30 last race on the card at Carlisle. This is the race we will be analysing. So we open the system builder with the buttons down the left. We'll just resize it so we can fit 2 lines of tabs on. Hide the button so we have more space on the screen. And we only want to analyse the 5:30 at Carlisle. So we select today's date. We're going to be analysing by sire, so we use sire dex, and then we use the races tick, which will then fill the box with all the races running on the day we chose, and scroll down to the 5:30 at Carlisle. We only want to analyse the sire's past races in national and flat races, so we go to the race tab, deselect all the race types apart from national and flat, and then run the system. So these are the records of the sires with runners in the 5:30 at Carlisle, the national and flat race, and we can see there number of runs they've had and wins, strike rate, etc. And below we can see the qualifiers, which is the runners in that 5:30 at Carlisle. If we were to double click on any of the sires to get the full results, we would then see the particular runner that is by that sire in the 5:30 at Carlisle in the qualifiers at the bottom. And we could double click and drop into the Carlisle national and flat race to see the race card in full. So if we go back to the system builder, so this was the overall record of sires in national and flat races that had runners in the 5:30 at Carlisle today. Now 4 of these runners are on their debut on a racetrack. They have no form at all. So we might want to analyse just sires' records with horses on their debut running in a national flat race. So we can do this in the horse tab and the day since last run field by entering debut in this field. We run the system again, and the system builder results returned are the sires' performances when on their debut in a national and flat race. And if we go back to the national and flat race and look at the 4 horses on their debut and just scroll along slightly so we can see their sires, we have King's Theatre, Flemish Firth, Stowaway and Great Palm. So if we go back to the system builder, we can see King's Theatre's record with horses on their debut in national and flat races. Stowaway's record is there, Great Palm and Flemish Firth. And the 4 qualifiers at the bottom are the 4 horses that are on their debut in this national and flat race. Looking at how sires perform on debut in national and flat races can sometimes be an excellent angle. Sire research of course and going preferences. To show you how sire analysis can be used to look at course and going preferences, we will show you a meeting at Southwell on the all-weather. So we're back in Proform, and on the same day, the 25th of October 2012, there was an all-weather meeting at Southwell. So we'll go back into the system builder and we'll choose today's date, the 25th of October. We're going to analyse by sire and we'll choose the course Southwell. Now we want to see how the sires perform at this course, so we go to the course tab right click, select none, go down to Southwell, select just Southwell course, and we only want to see all weather form. So in the race tab, we right click, select none in the race types, and just choose all weather, and then we run the system. And the system builder returns all the sires with runners today at Southwell and their record at Southwell on the all-weather. We can then sort by number of winners, runners, etc., or by profit-loss. And if we wanted, we could then use the filter system to filter just the profitable ones at SP, for example. So in the profit-loss to SP, we would put greater than or equal to 0. And if we run the system again, we will only be returned the sires that make a profit to SP. And you can use the filter systems to filter out lots of the parameters that are returned on the system builder results screen. If we then want to see what runners this sire has running today at Southwell, we just double click the sire of our choice, and down in the qualifiers you will see the horses declared to run today at Southwell by, in this case, the sire Giant's Causeway. Sire research of race distances. Another angle using sire research is by race distance. In this example, we will look at a chase over 3 miles 110 yards and see how sires perform in this type of race and over this trip. So we're back in Proform, and we're back on the 25th of October 2012 and looking at the races at Carlisle. And the 3:55 was an handicap chase over 3 miles 110 yards. So we'll go back into the system builder and we'll choose the same day on the date tab in the declarations part, and we're analysing by sire, and we only want to look at the 3:55 at Carlisle, so we click on races and choose the 3:55 at Carlisle, and we then also only want to look at the record of the sires in chase races. So on the race tab we just choose chase in the race types, and we also only want to see the sires records over 3 miles plus. So in the distance field, which we enter in yards, we would enter greater than or equal to 5,280 yards, which is 3 miles in yards, and you can see the lookup table in the help on the right for the furlongs to yards conversions, and we would then run the system. So this returns the sires records in chase races at 3 miles and above for the sires that have runners in the 3:55 at Carlisle today. And if we were to double click on any of the sires, we can see the qualifiers at the bottom. Sometimes analysing sires by race distance can throw up lots of positive angles or lots of negative angles, and can be a good angle when looking at a race. You can of course add more parameters to this query. For instance, Carlisle today has an official going of soft, so on the courses tab you could add in heavy and soft going and analyse sires over 3 miles in heavy and soft going to see if any angles are thrown up. We'll leave that one for you to try yourself. Well, that's it for Module 2.6 training session. Tomorrow Module 2.7 will become available to you. Try more research using sires. Some examples might be first time headgear, debut in flat maiden races, and heavy going, but there are many applications when analysis by sire can be beneficial.